All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mirko Caruso, aka Rokkstar 812, and I'm gonna stream tonight's race. Tonight we have European Racing Organization racing in Singapore in the Marina Bay circuit. This is the third race of the season. Some facts about the circuit tonight. Marina Bay Street Circuit is length 5.0 kilometers and has 23 turns. The normal race distance is 61 laps, but as we are driving or racing in 50% mode, the race will have 31 laps tonight. I think we're gonna start in a few seconds. We have 17 drivers in the lobby, so it doesn't look like we have a full grid tonight. Let's go through the field and let's go quick through the standings after last week's race in Australia. And we have at the moment at the first place Righty Boy, who has won both Grand Prix with 51 points lead. Second place we have Baked Potato from Poland in the McLaren with 30 points. We have Baker from the Netherlands in the Red Bull on P3 with 21 points. We have Maverick from Greece on P4 in the Alfa Romeo with also 21 points, so he's in the same points as Baker on P3. And to finish the top 5 we have Aldinho from Great Britain in the Racing Point with 18 points on P5. These are the first 5 drivers of the championship. It's, as I said before, the third race, so everything is still open. We had 2 amazing races in Japan and Australia in the last 2 weeks, and I guess tonight is also going to be a really interesting race, so be prepared for some race action tonight in Singapore. All right, so as you all can see, we're gonna race, and probably also the qualifying will be in the night. Just a little fact about the night race. To have enough light for the drivers, there are 1,600 lighting projectors used on this circuit, so that's a lot to make the night to day. And also another fact about the Marina Bay Street Circuit is that this is the circuit with the most corner in the season. So it has more corners than every other circuit. And as you all know, it's a street circuit, so the barriers are close and a little mistake can cost you positions, or you can even be out of the race. So it looks like we have 17 drivers tonight. Let's see through the field. We have Baker here, we have Righty Boy here, so all the leaders of the championship, also Baked Potato, all 3 guys are here. That's going to be a really interesting tonight. I will turn on some information for you. And we have already the first guys going out. All right, let's see who was the first, or let's stay with always Rick to have the first impressions of the circuit. As I said before, it's a night race and it's a street circuit, so the barriers are really close, and I guess we're gonna see some little crashes tonight with broken wings. Let's stay quick with always Rick warming up his tires. We see already the first drivers out on mediums. I can turn in detailed. So we see a mix of everything. We have people out on mediums, people out on softs. Let's see who will have the better start of this qualifying. As you all know, 18 minutes now, already 2 minutes past, so 60 minutes left to have a good hot lap, to have the most best start position you can have, because it's really important here to start in the front rows. As I said before, there are not much positions where you can overtake, so that's going to be really interesting tonight. And we see already almost everyone out for his first out lap. We have 4 more people in the pit. And the first guys crossing the start line and are on their hot lap. We're gonna stay quick with always Rick for the first attempt of his hot lap. Let's go on board with him. Has already a little bit of traffic before him, so I hope that's not gonna slow him down. DRS open. We have 2 DRS zones on this circuit. This is the first one with a little right turn, with a little right, and Righty Boy retired from the session. I don't know what happened. Righty Boy, the actual championship leader, is out of the qualifying. I guess there was maybe a crash. Let's stay with always Rick to see his lap, what he can do. Looks really clean to me. One of the slowest corner on the circuit, and we have here DRS zone again. DRS open for always Rick. Let's see his time. And it's really interesting. We have Righty Boy in the Mercedes, actual championship leader, out of the race. Let's stay with always Rick in the Red Bull. Let's see his time. Last corner, 6th gear, really nice, taken from him, and he finished by 1:38.8, brings him on position 2. Baker in the pole in the other Red Bull with an amazing time of 1:36.6, and Stevie Taivi in the Mercedes, the second Mercedes, P2 1:37.6, and Heskey in the Haas P3 with 1:38.2, already passed by Rokkstar in the Renault. So you see everyone really close to each other. That's gonna be a really amazing race tonight. And the interesting fact is that Baker made his time on mediums, so if he will go out again with softs, I think he will be able to improve this time. Stevie TV P2, Rokkstar P3 in the Renault, Heskey Haas P4, always Rick, the brother of Baker, in the other Red Bull on P5, it's Coatsy P6, and the Maverick did an amazing lap time, 1:38.7, bring him to P5. Let's go see the Ferrari of It's a Boy Life, who crashed in the last race in Australia. Let's see what he can do here. It's a Boy Life already in sector 2. As you know, we are racing on strict corner cutting rules, so we have to be careful. There are not much places here where you can cut, but you have even to be really careful to not invalidate your lap. And we see It's a Boy Life with the fastest sector 2, purple for him. Let's stay with him for the rest of this lap. He has a little bit of traffic in front of him, so I hope that the race, yes, made space for him. Nice job from Minte, which I guess must be a new driver. I don't remember him on the last races. And we see It's a Boy Life, downshift, 5th gear, full speed, DRS open. And we have It's a Boy Life with an amazing 1:36.3, bringing him to P1 in this qualifying. Really nice job from It's a Boy Life, who crashed in the last race in Australia. Ferrari at the moment in the pole position, but the qualifying is still not in the half time, so the drivers have still 11 minutes to grab the pole position. Let's go to the field. We have Colmy already out again on his second lap in the second half, at the moment in position 11. Let's stay with him if he can improve his time. Colby, second sector already. And that's gonna be really interesting. We have Righty Boy out of the qualifying, so this is gonna be hard for him this race. He will have a lot of traffic in front of him, as I said before. It's a really difficult circuit, one of the hardest one, I guess, in this season. So that's gonna be really interesting to see if he can get back in the top positions during this race. And we have Colmy already in the last sector. Oh, he did a mistake. Colmy with a mistake. I guess he cannot improve his time. That mistake cost him a lot of seconds, so I guess he's gonna directly to the pit. Yes, Colmy into the pit at the moment, stay in P12. And we have Baker on P11. As I said before, Baker actually Baked Potato in the McLaren actually on P2 in the championship lead, but here with the 11th place, so I hope he can do better to go to the front and start in the front of this race. Let's see who we have on the field. Jordan on his outlap in the second Ferrari. Let's stay with him. Alright, Jordan starting his lap right now. Let's stay with him on board. You see the first corner already really tricky. Will also be a topic at the start of this race. That's going to be really dangerous for everyone to not have a damage. In the front row still the same. We have Aldinho going on P4 with his Racing Point. Really nice job from him, 137.6, and let's see if Jordan can get a good lap here and if he can go in the top 10. Nice job from him so far. He's already in sector 2. And we have 7 minutes 30 left, so we are arriving at the last part of this 18-minute qualifying. The time run really fast. It's a Boy Life actually on P1 in the Ferrari, Baker P2 in the Red Bull, who had an amazing race last week in Australia, Stevie Taivi in the Mercedes P3, Aldinho P4 at the moment in the Racing Point, Rastarevo in the Renault P5, Heskey P6, the Maverick P7 on his outlap right now, Always Rick P8, it's Coatsy P9 and Mintis 77 in the Racing Point, the second Racing Point on P10. Let's see what Jordan can do. Looks like not his best lap, already past 140 and brings him to 143.4, stay on position 16 right behind Kavak. So he has still time to go back to the pit and improve his time. Let's stay with Capri-Scroll in the Williams. Let's see if he can do better. Actually on P13, no laps for him. So he has fresh softs. And his last time was 1:40.7, so 4 seconds slower than our actual first positioned It's a Boy Life. Already at the end of sector 2. Let's see if he can improve his time, Capri-Scroll. Capri-Scroll from Denmark in the Williams. A nice purple second sector. Let's see if he can keep this pace and go up on the table. Or actually is on P13 in the Williams. Arriving at the bridge section, last parts, last turns of this Marina Bay Street Circuit. Really nice job from him. Coming in the 7th gear, downshift to the 5th gear. Full speed and finished with the 138.6, brings him to P7. Nice job from Capri-Scroll from Denmark in the Williams. P7 for him, 138.6. Nice job. And we go to the next one, Rastarevo. 137.5 brings him to P5. Stevie TV started his round. Heskey already stopped his fast lap. And let's go with Baker in the Red Bull. Let's see if he can get the pole position. No purple sector at the moment from him. Let's see if he can attack It's a Boy's Lifetime. And we have Baker with a 135.6, brings him to the pole position. Baker in the Red Bull, new on the pole with an amazing 135.6, almost 1 second faster than It's a Boy Life. That's going to be difficult for him to It's for It's a Boy Life to pass that, to be better than Baker, but you never know. We have 4 minutes left. Let's go to It's a Boy Life. I think Stevie is already in sector 2. Let's go with him, but Stevie invalidate his lap, so I guess it's gonna be difficult for him to have one more lap if he has to pit. So we go back to It's a Boy Life. Purple sector 1 for It's a Boy Life in the Ferrari, so that's gonna be interesting if he can be faster than Baker. Looks like Baker and It's a Boy Life are having a fight for the pole position. Really important in this race because, as I said a few times, this circuit is really difficult to overtake. And we see It's a Boy Life, really clean racing from him. DRS open, second DRS of the circuit. Purple in sector 2 for It's a Boy Life. It's a Boy Life is on fire. He wants the pole, pushing to the limit. And I hope he's not gonna have some traffic. We see in the racing point. Lucky. It's a Boy Life was lucky to not get involved in traffic. Again, nice job from Minte to let space for It's a Boy Life, which is in a really hot lap. It's a Boy Life, 5th gear, full speed, 6th gears, DRS open, and It's a Boy Life in the pole position. It's a Boy Life 135.42. tenths faster than Baker. Amazing job from him in the Ferrari. It's a Boy Life actually on P1. Baker invalidate his lap. We have Heskey on P3, which is on his out lap in the Haas, so he's gonna have one more attempt to improve his time. Let's see, we have a lot of people in the pit. Always Rick in the out lap, and we have it's Coetzee passing the star grid with a 138.3, brings him to P8 in front of his teammate Capri-Scroll. So Williams P8 and 9 at the moment. Good job to be in the top 10. But we're gonna focus. We have Maverick going out. Always Rick in the house. Baked Potato, let's stay with him in the McLaren. Baked Potato, as I said before, is on P2 in the actual championship with 30 points, so he has to bring home some points tonight to have the competition with Righty Boy, who is the actual leader with 51 points. Righty Boy out of disqualifying, the only driver out of disqualifying, so he's gonna start from the back row. Last position for him, but as we already have seen in the last two races, he's really fast, so he's gonna go surely through the field and try to win this race, which gonna be a really big challenge for him. And we stay with Baked Potato. Let's see if he can improve his time. He's actually 4 seconds slower than the fastest one, It's a Boy Live in the Ferrari. And we have Baked Potato in the last few turns, passing the bridge. Last turn for him, 4th gear, acceleration, 7th gear, downshift to 6th gear, full speed out of the corner, DRS open, 137.5. Baked Potato, P5, he improved his time. Let's go and see if Heskey in the Haas can make a better time to bring him to P1 or 2. And he invalidated his lap, so Heskey will probably stay on P3. Let's see what Stevie TV is doing. We have a yellow flag in sector 1, I guess it was Heskey. Ooh, and we have It's Cozy gets a 5 place penalty in the grid. Really bad for him. But we focus now on Stevie TV, the only Mercedes in this qualifying. Let's see. He stopped his lap. I guess he did a mistake. Stevie TV will probably start from the 4th position. Rastarevo invalidate his lap right now. Aldinho, let's stay with him. Aldinho in the Racing Point. Let's see what he can do. Actually on P7 with a 137.6. Aldinho actually in the championship lead. Championship is on P5 in the Racing Point with 18 points. So he's able to have good times. We see the Renault of Ronanasaurus out. Bad qualifying for him on P16 right now. And we have Aldinho with the best 2nd sector, purple for Aldinho. Let's see what he can do, if he can push to the limit at the end of this circuit, sector 3, and maybe get in the top 5 or even the pole position. That's going to be interesting. The qualifying is officially over, so we have just a few drivers left. Maverick spun in front of Aldinho. Aldinho doesn't lose concentration. Aldinho with the 136.4 brings him to P3. Amazing from Aldinho. Good job, Aldinho. Good job from him. Good job. Racing Point on P3. And I guess this was it. We have Ronanasaurus still out, but invalidate his lap. So I think that's it. Qualifying over. And we have a really interesting starting grid. We're gonna have an eye on as soon as the qualifying is officially over. As I said before, 31 laps is the length of the race, 50% corner cutting on straight, so you have to be careful. And the first corner is going to be really interesting. We have Baker in P2, who is actually on P3 in the championship, and the qualifying is over. Stevie TV, the only Mercedes in this qualifying, on P5. So let's have a look at the table. We have It's a Boy Live in the Ferrari on P1, 135.4. Baker in the Red Bull Racing, 135.6 on P2. P3 for Aldinho, amazing time from him, 136.4. Heskey in the Haas, P4. Stevie TV Mercedes, P5. Baked Potato, P6 in the McLaren. Rastarevo in the Renault, P7. It's Cozy, P8. Minte from Poland in the 2nd Racing Point on P9. And Caprisquad, the last of 10 in P10 in the Williams with 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1. 138.1 All right. Qualifying already over, and we are heading to the race of Singapore. Marina Bay Street Circuit. That's gonna be a really interesting race tonight. Looks like dry weather for the start of the race. And we're gonna have a formation lap first, where the driver can prepare their tires to the right temperature, normally at around 90 degrees, to have a good traction for a start. And the countdown should start in a few seconds. Here is 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left for the last adjustments of the setup if someone had some struggles in the qualifying. And soon we're going to start the third race of the European Racing Organization Tier 5 Singapore Grand Prix tonight. All right, timer is over, and we're gonna start right now with the formation lap. All right, It's a Boy Live on P1. Let's go on board with him to see again the track. This corner is gonna be really interesting. Let's see if Baker can attack him already in the first corner. I didn't see if he starts on the inside line, but I guess Baker is on the inside line, so that's gonna be really interesting. We go through the field. Aldinho P3, Heskey P4, Stevie Teavee in the Mercedes, and we have the actual championship leader, Righty Boy, in the second Mercedes, starting from the last position. I don't know if he did a mistake in the qualifying that he crashed. So we're gonna sure have an eye on him and see if he can climb up positions. We all know that he's fast, so should be no problem for him. But as I said, this track is really difficult to overtake, and he has to be really careful with all the traffic in front of him to not have a damaged wing. We see the predicted pit stop strategy: 2 stop with 2 mediums, or 1 stop with medium to hards. That's going to be interesting tonight. Wu has to see which driver has which strategy. And we're going to put in position change details for the start of the race. And we go back to the front. We see the Ferrari of It's a Boy Live already arriving at the start grid. So the Grand Prix of Singapore is gonna start in a few seconds. Looks like dry weather tonight, but you never know. It can rain at the end of the race. Everything is possible. Marina Bay Street Circuit, 33 turns, one of the most difficult Grand Prix of the season. And we see the drivers arriving, getting their positions for the start of the race. And we see in the background the Mercedes of Righty Boy. All right. Here we are. Red lights turning on soon. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And the lights are off. European Racing Organization Tier 5 is on. Righty Boy, we see Baker attacking him. Not enough space to attack. It's a Boy Life defending his position. Baked Potato, I guess, with a crash. We have 3 guys out. 3 guys who had a crash. Baked Potato, it's Kosti and Kavak. And we have a virtual safety car after first turn. I said before, the first turn is really, really dangerous. And we have the crash, and Righty Boy already up 3 positions. It's a Boy Life still on P1, Baker on P2. We have Heskey gaining a position on P3, Stevie Teavee P4. Aldinho lost 2 positions on P5, so he had some problems in the start of this race. And we have, it looks like DG3, the big winner of the start, with gaining 6th position now on P9. And let's stay with Baker quick. If you can already attack It's a Boy Live. The gap is really small between the two. Baker will make pressure, will set It's a Boy Live under pressure in the beginning of this race. I think they both have a really amazing speed. And we have a crash again. Can't see right now who had a crash, but there was some trouble in the mid of the field. And Righty Boy already on P13. Righty Boy P13 already gained 5th position after this chaotic start with crashes going on. Kavak passing Ronanasaurus. Ooh, there was a contact. Ronanasaurus with the late braking. Attacking grab, tried to grab the position back. But no chance for him. Kavak brings Kavak to P14 in the Alpha Tauri. It's a Boy Live already finished the first round, and Baker Potato, big loser of the start with a crash, now actually on P17, but no damage for him, so he can grab back the positions. We have a few guys in the pits. Ronanasaurus pit stop, the Maverick pit stop, and Call Me in the pit after the first turn. 4 guys with damaged wings, but we go back to the front. Oh, I see the table as always going crazy after the first turns. Let's have a look after when it's corrected. 1 second. So, chaotic start, we are already arrived in P3. I can't, in lap 3, sorry, I can't see at the moment the right table. It has to go back. We have Ronanasaurus with the first penalty, I guess, for speeding in the pit. So, let's see if I can find the guys fighting for P1. Righty Boy in middle of everything. We have this 4-car train. So, still the table is not right. So, right back again, we have It's a Boy Live on P1 in the Ferrari. Baker still on P2 with a gap of almost 1 second, still in the DRS window of It's a Boy Live. Heskey P3 in the Haas. Stevie Taivi P4. Aldinho with a little gap P5. Racing Point on P6. Also, we have a crash in Sector 3. Crash in Sector 3. Let's see if I can get some more information who it was. I can't. We have a wheel-to-wheel from Kavak attacking Jordan for position 11. Jordan defending his position. Yellow flag Sector 1. Really chaotic start. We have Baked Potato passing Kavak. Baked Potato gaining 1 position back after a bad start. Kavak on the inside line. Attack, and we have a spun of Baker. Baker had a spun and in place 11. I don't know what happened. I guess he already had a crash. He was on P2 fighting for the first position, and now he's on P11. Problems for Baker. And he spun again. Again, Baker losing a lot of position. Baker with some troubles on P11. I hope he has no wing damage, doesn't look like that, but Baker a lot of troubles, throwing away the podium at the beginning of the race, already on P11 with a gap of 16 seconds, and spun again. Baker losing his nerves with troubles getting his car back on the track. Baker on P12, and that brings Heskey to P2. Heskey is catched from Stevie Tavy in the Mercedes. Clean race from Stevie Tavy at the moment, and we have Righty Boy, the second Mercedes, the championship leader, already on P7. He gained 11 positions. What an amazing performance after 4 laps. Nice job from him. And we're gonna focus on these 3 guys. We have the fight for P8 between Jordan, Kavak and Baked Potato. Baked Potato on P10. Kavak attacking Jordan. Let's see if he can get DRS. He will have DRS and can attack Jordan in the Ferrari. We have DRS open. Kavak near, but not near enough to attack Jordan. late braking, and we have a yellow flag in sector. Ooh, Baker again! I can't believe it! Baker on the last position! What is going on? Baker in the Red Bull was on P2 after the qualifying and is now on P18. Really big problems for Baker in this race. Let's see if he has to pit. Yes, Baker in the pit. I guess he has some really overheated tires and he spun a lot. Baker on P18. Unbelievable. We have a yellow flag in sector 1 and Stevie TV really close to Heskey now with DRS open. Let's see if he can attack him. No, he brakes earlier than Heskey. Let's hope for a clean racing, and in the background we see the 2 racing points from Aldinho and Minte coming really close to them. So that's gonna be a big fight for P2. Let's hope for a clean racing of everyone. Stevie TV really close, and we have It's a Boy Life in the Ferrari already with a gap of 10 seconds. So It's a Boy Life looks like he's really fast on this circuit. We see Heskey struggling, and there is a contact between Heskey and Stevie TV. Stevie TV has to be careful. Heskey with some overheated and Heskey with some problems of traction, and we see Stevie TV passing him and also Aldinho attacking Heskey on the inside line. Ooh, and Minte with the overtake of Aldinho. What a nice fight of these guys, and we have Heskey with some problems. His tire looked like really used, so he has some traction problems, and that's gonna be hard now for him to defend P3. Let's go on board with Minte attacking with DRS open. Minte side to side with Heskey passing him. Minte already lost 3 positions. He's struggling. Aldinho really close to him. Oh, and Aldinho touched him. Aldinho with the front wing damage. Late braking of Aldinho. Front wing damage for him. He has to pit. That's gonna cost him a lot of position. Heskey still with bad traction on the field. What a nice action race, and we have Aldinho going really wide. Rastarevo passing him, and also Righty Boy on P6. Aldinho struggling for the damaged wing. Righty Boy already on P6 behind Rastarevo. What a nice race. A lot of action going on in this P. We are already in lap 5 of the race, and we see now Righty Boy catching Rastarevo, and Heskey with a lot of troubles. I guess he has some really used tires. Ooh, and we have Rastarevo on the inside line, has to be careful to not get a damage. And we have Heskey with a lot of troubles. Spinning around a lot around. He has to defend his position, but it's going to be really hard for him. And he's slowing down everyone. So Heskey with a lot of troubles. I guess he should pit. Yes, Heskey into the pit and brings Rastarevo to P4 and Righty Boy on P5. Stevie TV in the pit, fresh mediums for him. Already early pit for Stevie TV, and we have Righty Boy on P4, Kabak P5. What an amazing race, as I said before. A lot of action going on. Let's go into the back rows. We have Baker, who has some really bad troubles in the last few laps now, trying to get back on top. He's actually on P17. It's code T3 second penalty for multiple warnings. Let's go through the field. We have It's Coasty really close to the Maverick in the Williams. Williams versus Alfa Romeo. DRS for It's Coasty, but he's not close enough to attack. But that's gonna be a really interesting fight. We have both Alfa Romeos. Oh, and we see that It's Coasty touched Maverick and put him out of the line, but the Maverick had really good skill to save his car, so it doesn't spun. But that was not, it was really late braking of It's Coatsy. So the Maverick on P14. Baker, oh, Baker with the fastest lap with a 139.8, so Baker pushing to the limit to get back positions. And in the front, let's have a look. We have Righty Boy really close to Minte 77. Righty Boy, unbelievable performance from him. He started last and is now on P3. So he's gonna be a really fast driver in this race. And we see Minte going into the pit and Righty Boy P2 starting to chase It's a Boy Life. It's a boy, sorry, was in the pit, I didn't see it, and that brings Righty Boy actually on P1. Righty Boy from last to first. Ooh, almost lost his car, has to be careful to not throw away the P1. What an amazing race from Righty Boy at the moment, but I guess he has to pit. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the stop situation. And we have a safety car, lap 7. Safety car, I guess it's Cozy crash. Let's see if I can see his vehicle on the circuit. Baker also with some troubles. And I guess it's Cozy crashed. Yes, it's Cozy crashed and is out of the race. And that brings us a safety car on lap 7 of 31. And Baked Potato get a drive-through penalty for speeding during safety car. Really unnecessary penalty. Rokkstar going into the pit, and that will mix, this safety car will mix up everything again. We have Righty Boy who has to pit. Rokkstar also is on P2 but has to pit, and that should bring It's a Boy Life back to P1 in the Ferrari. So safety car on lap 7 here in Singapore. Crazy race at the moment. Baker on P15 was on P2. Bad race for him at the moment, but everything is still possible as we are not even in the half of the race. And we have a safety car right now to take a breath and see the positions. That's going to be interesting. Also the restart is going to be really interesting after this safety car phase. But we're going to have a safety car, I guess, for the next 3 laps. So It's a Boy Life can stay out because he already pitted, and that should bring him to P1. We see Righty Boy into the pit. He's already out. And Rokkstar is still on the field with used mediums. He didn't pit during safety car. That's going to be interesting to see him. Righty Boy out of the pit on P3, and behind him, let's see if he can pass him. Stevie TV in the Mercedes on P3, and his teammate Righty Boy in the second Mercedes on P4. So Mercedes at the moment getting a lot of points tonight, but the race is not over yet. P5 in the Racing Point, Heskey P6 in the Haas, Kavak P7 in the Alpha Tauri, Aldinho in the second Racing Point P8, DG3 in the Alpha P9, and in the second Alpha the Maverick on P10, who was really unlucky. Heskey get a 3-second penalty during safety car for, I guess, corner cutting. Really unnecessary to get penalties during safety car, so he has to be careful. And I guess everyone pitted, so this is going to be the lineup for the restart after the safety car with Rokkstar on P1. But Rokkstar didn't pit yet, so let's see what his tires are doing. Yes, he has 7 lap old mediums, so I guess he's gonna lose a lot of traction when the safety car restarts. And that could be really interesting for It's a Boy Life to go back to P1. And Stevie Teevi ignoring the yellow flag. Stevie Teevi with a 5-second penalty. Oh, that's really unnecessary. Stevie Teevi 5-second penalty during safety car. I didn't know exactly what happened, but this 5 second can cost him the podium at the end of the race. And we go on board with Rokkstar behind safety car. Safety car lights are still on, so we're gonna have one more lap with the safety car, and that's gonna be a really interesting start. And we already arrived in lap 9, and we see we have a few penalties on the field. Let's have a look at the penalties. We have Stevie TV with 5 seconds, Heskey 3 seconds, Jordan 5 seconds, Baked Potato with a drive-through that's gonna bring him probably to the last place on the table. And we have Rokkstar also with 3 seconds in the second Renault. And back to Baker in the Red Bull, who had a really bad few laps before. He spun a few times and bring him to P13, but he's lucky to now have the safety car, so after the restart he can get back position and can fight back in the top 10. And we see some rings flying around. I guess Jordan crashed with the Maverick, or the Maverick crashed with Colmy. I guess Colmy hit the car of the Maverick, and that's a big issue of the game. The Maverick has nothing to do with this crash and received a 5-second penalty. That's really sad for him. And we go back to the front to not miss the restart of this safety car phase. That's gonna be interesting, the restart of this phase. Safety car lights are still on. Let's see if safety car goes back after this lap. And we see in the background a few guys that are not close to the safety car queue. That's gonna be interesting if maybe the safety car stays out one more lap because of that. No, safety car lights are off and we are retaking the pace in a bit. That's gonna be a really interesting restart. We have Rokkstar with used mediums, so I guess he's gonna have some troubles in this restart phase. It's a Boy Life close behind, and we see last. Ooh, that was close for Stevie TV to not hit his wing, and that was a strange restart. He has to get back in position. Rokkstar on P1. It's a Boy Life. P2 is attacked from Stevie TV. Stevie TV on the inside line attacking. Stevie TV passing. It's a Boy Life. Wheel-to-wheel action, and Stevie TV brings him to P1. What an amazing job from Stevie TV, from P3 to P1 after the first turn. And we have the Ferrari of It's a Boy Life really close to him. Wheel-to-wheel action. On this straight we have some crashes going on in the background. Let's stay here quick and see if It's a Boy Life can get his position back. Looks like Stevie TV can defend his P1. We have a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. Rokkstar on P3 and Righty Boy right behind him, pushing to get on P3. Rokkstar, as I say it again, with used mediums. That was an amazing job from Stevie TV, actually on P1. Let's go through the field, what we have else. Righty Boy really close to Rokkstar on P4. And we have fights going on in the middle of the field. A lot of fights going on. Colmy really close. Oh, there was no space for Colmy. Crashed with Baked Potato, damaged his wing, and he has to pit again. Jordan is next to him. We see also amazing fights in the background. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting now to see. Ooh, we have It's a Boy Life also really close to Stevie TV. He wants his position back. It's a Boy Life who started on P1. And we have Baker already climbing up again on P7. Amazing job from Baker. Baker pushing to the limit now behind Minte. Minte has to pit. And we brings Baker back on P6. Really close in the top 5. Baker, who had a lot of crash. So we have virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. We have virtual safety car. I don't know what happened. I can't see a crash. Minte into the pit with a damaged wing. Colmy also with a damaged wing. Always Rick. P16 also with a damaged wing. Kavak also in the pit. And we have a virtual safety car. Let's see what happened. Ooh, I guess I know what happened. Rokkstar was in P3, now in P5, he lost some position and the Maverick left the session. DNF for the Maverick, out of the session. Alpha of the Maverick out of this session. Let's go back to the front. We have Righty Boy behind It's a Boy Life. The two Mercedes in top 3. And that's gonna be hard for It's a Boy Life to defend, to fight for P1. Let's go into the field. We have Rokkstar on P5 and Baker chasing him. Baker chasing him and passing him. Baker on P5. Let's see if Rokkstar. No, Rokkstar cannot defend his position. Rokkstar with he really used tires. His mediums are 10 laps old, so I guess he has some trouble with the traction, and that brings Baker back to P5. Really chaotic restart of the safety car. Big winner of the restart was Stevie Taibi, gaining 3 position, and we have now It's a Boy Live chasing Stevie Taibi. That's gonna be the fight for P1 in the next few laps. And you can see already in the background Righty Boy closing the gap to It's a Boy Live. Let's focus on Baker, really close to Heskey. Heskey always troubles with the traction on the track, and Baker really close. He has to be careful to not damage his wing. DRS open, and now the attack of Baker on the inside. Let's hope that Heskey. Ooh, there was a contact. No crash, no crash. Side to side action, and Heskey defending his position. Baker now on the inside line. Wheel to wheel action. Baker now outside. Ooh, that's a nice fighting from the guys. Heskey, clip it clean, guys. And we have Baker passing Heskey after a nice fight. Doesn't look like Heskey can get the position back. Baker fighted back on P4. Heskey on P5. And in the background we see Rokkstar with the used mediums on P6, Aldinho closing the gap and close to Rokkstar in the Renault, so Aldinho will pass him probably in the next few laps. And in the front we have It's a Boy Live really close to Stevie Taibi. Let's stay with these two guys. Yellow flag in sector 2, and It's a Boy Live looks like he's faster than Stevie Taibi. He's in the DRS window, so he's gonna get DRS after the next few turns. Almost spinning, pushing to limit, both out of DRS. Heskey a 3-second penalty. And It's a Boy Live is really fast in Singapore tonight, closing the gap to Stevie Taibi, and Righty Boy was 3 seconds, had a 3-second gap. Now he's on 3 seconds, 0.7, so it looks like Righty Boy is not faster than It's a Boy Live at the moment. Let's go into the midfield. We have Rokkstar with the really used. Oh, and there was a crash, sorry, there was a crash or a retirement from Baked Potato. Baked Potato out of the race, DNF for him. Bad race for Baked Potato tonight. And we have some fights going on. Ronanasaurus P9. Let's go through the field. Aldinho close to Rokkstar. Rokkstar with the late braking, locking the wheels. Let's focus on these 3 guys for a few turns and see if Aldinho can pass Rokkstar in the Renault. Renault versus Racing Point. Looks like Rokkstar is a little bit faster. The gap is getting bigger, almost 1 second, but now a little mistake from Rokkstar. DRS for Aldinho, P7 Aldinho. Not attacking him at the moment, not a good position to attack. Let's see what he can do next. We have a yellow flag in sector 1. I guess it was the car of Baked Potato. And in front we see Stevie Taibi still on P1. We say It's a Boy Live really close to Stevie Taibi. Aldinho, we have here these 3 guys fighting for P5, and Rokkstar has mediums that are 12 laps old, so he really is struggling with the traction but still remains outside. And we have a nice attack from Rokkstar outside line. We see defending from Heskey. Heskey defending his position, clean racing at the moment. Really nice job from Heskey defending Haas versus Renault, and it looks like Heskey can defend his P5. Nice job from Heskey, but now we have Rokkstar with DRS, and we have wheel-to-wheel action. Rokkstar on the used mediums, passing Heskey trying to get back the position, but doesn't look like he can get back the position. We have Aldinho also really close to them. So a big fight going on for P5. Aldinho close to Heskey. Let's see if he can pass him in the next few turns. And in front we have It's a Boy Live really close to Stevie to Evie. Let's focus. It's a Boy Live close. Wheel to wheel action. It's a Boy on the inside line. Ferrari versus Mercedes. Looks like Stevie can defend his position, but It's a Boy Live is pushing him. Really a lot of pressure for Stevie to Evie. Stevie to Evie with a 5-second penalty, so it's gonna be interesting to see at the end of the race. But at the moment we focus on this guy, Stevie to Evie, getting maybe attacked in the next few turns. It's a Boy Live, DRS open, not enough close to attack. And in the background, Righty Boy with a gap of 2 seconds, 0.5, coming closer to them. We have a few penalties going through the field. DG3 with 3 seconds. And Aldinho in the background attacking or passing Heskey. Aldinho now on P6. Heskey lost some positions. And we have Baker on P4. Good position for him. And let's go back to the front. We have this fight for P1 between Stevie to Evie and It's a Boy Live. Oh, and there I guess It's a Boy Live touched Stevie to Evie. Stevie to Evie out. Stevie to Evie, I hope he has no ring damage. Doesn't look like. No, but he was pushed from It's a Boy Live. It's a Boy Live with a late braking, pushing Stevie to Evie almost into the wall, in the barrier. But I think there was no contact between Stevie to Evie and the barrier. And now Righty Boy is really close to his teammate Stevie to Evie. That's gonna be interesting now. I think It's a Boy Live didn't want to touch him, late braking, pushing to the limit, and he touched Stevie to Evie. And now It's a Boy Live has a 2-second gap between him and Stevie to Evie. Let's see if Righty Boy can attack and pass Stevie to Evie in the next few turns. We see Righty Boy on hards. Yellow flag sector 2 looks like a Ferrari. We have, I think Jordan did a mistake. So we have It's a Boy Live in the Ferrari actually on P1. P2 for Stevie to Evie in the Mercedes. Baker into the pit. Let's see if he damaged his wing or he just needs some new tires. He's switching to hards. No new wing for him. Baker with hards. And we already passed the half race. We are on lap 16 of 31. Baker losing some position. Heskey into the pit with the Haas. And there is a big gap between the third position, Righty Boy, and Aldinho, 21 seconds. It looks like the first 3 guys are really fast on this circuit of Singapore. And it's going to be interesting now to see if the 2 Mercedes can close the gap to the Ferrari of It's a Boy Live. But It's a Boy Live looks like he's faster, already has a gap of 3 seconds. And more between him and Stevie to Evie. In the background we have Rastarevo into the pit, fresh mediums for him. Capriscal P14 in the Williams, Heskey out of the pit on P13, Kavak P12, Colmy P11, always Rick, the brother of Baker, on P10 in the Red Bull, Minte P9, Jordan P8, and we have Baker P7 with fresh hearts, DG3 with used mediums on P6 in the Alpha, the last Alpha, because the Maverick is out of the race. And we're gonna focus on these 2 guys, the 2 teammates, Mercedes, Righty Boy versus Stevie to Evie. And we have Stevie to Evie, who actually is, let's see his position in the championship. Stevie actually on P12 at the moment. And Righty Boy, as I said before, is the actual championship leader. He started last in this race and is now on P3. Ronanasaurus with a penalty of 3 seconds. And we have DG3 again in the pit. And actually we have no fights going on. Rokkstar is close to Kavak. Let's see if we have a fight soon between the two for P14. Doesn't look like. Rokkstar closing the gap to Kavak. DG3 coming out of the pit. Looks like DG3 is in last position after the pit stop. It's a Boy Live making his gap bigger, already 4 seconds, 0.2 the gap between him and It's a Boy Live. So It's a Boy Live is faster at the moment in the Ferrari. Stevie TV P2, Righty Boy Championship leader, and we have a penalty. It's a Boy Live received a penalty, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. I guess he cut it in the last corner, so also 3-second penalty for It's a Boy Live. Really bad for him. Aldinho P4 with a gap of 23 seconds. Ronanasaurus closing the gap between him and Aldinho. Maybe an attack soon. Looks like Ronanasaurus is faster. Both on used mediums. And we have 15 drivers left in this race. And lap 18, Marina Bay Street Circuit, and we have a crash of Ronanasaurus. Ronanasaurus lost the traction of the car and crashed into the barrier. As I say before, the barrier are really close in this circuit, and I guess, yes, I see a wing damage. Ronanasaurus has to pit. Oh, that's bad for him. He's actually on P5 after a nice race. So Ronanasaurus will lose a lot of positions, and we have a yellow flag in the sector 3. In front is still the same situation. Righty Boy chasing Stevie to Evie. Righty Boy with a really clean race. No penalties for him at the moment. That could be really an advantage at the end. Let's see if he can keep it like that. Aldinho with some troubles, I guess. 24 seconds, and I guess we have a crash. Yes, Jordan lost the control of the car. Actually on P9 in the second Ferrari, teammate of It's a Boy Live. I can't see a wing damage, so everything should be fine for him. And we see Baker really close to Ronanasaurus. Ronanasaurus with a broken wing, and Baker really easy pass for him. Brings Baker back to P5 in the Red Bull. Baker into the points after struggling a few laps. As you remember, he was on P2 and had some big issues, big problems for him, and he's now fighting back to the top of the field. P5 for him in the Red Bull, and his brother Always Rick fighting for P7 versus Minte, really close to him. And meanwhile the gap between It's a Boy Live and Stevie TV is 3.8 seconds, so It's a Boy Live still has a good pace in this race. Looks like he's faster, and now Always Rick closing the gap to Minte. DRS on, not enough close to attack him, but that's gonna be a fight in the next few laps. Always Rick close to Minte, both on hards. DRS open for Always Rick. Let's see if you can attack him with DRS. Attacking on inside, wheel-to-wheel action. Nice job from Always Rick, taking the inside line and passing Minte. Clean racing, no contact between the two. And we have the two brothers on P5 and 6 in the Red Bull. So Red Bull looks like they get some points tonight. Heskey passing Jordan, brings him to P8, and we have It's a Boy Live, the leader of the race, going to the pit. Fresh mediums for him. It's a Boy Live also with a wing damage. Ooh, so he lost some time in the pit stop. Still on P3, but the gap is bigger now between him and Righty Boy and Stevie Taevi, and both Mercedes on P1 and 2. What an amazing performance, but they have to pit, so we're gonna see some action going on in the next few laps. Aldinho passing It's a Boy Live after pit stop. It's a Boy Live losing some time for changing the front wing. so I guess he had a little crash somewhere. And It's a Boy Life on P4 in the Ferrari, passing him back again. That was fast. It's a Boy Life already back on P3, but he has a gap of 26 seconds between him and the Mercedes. That's gonna be interesting at this end race part. We already are in lap 20 of 31, and we have a lot of penalties through the field. And it's gonna be interesting now if Stevie TV is going to the pit. He's already on 13 laps old mediums. We have Heskey passing Minte, wheel-to-wheel action, Minte late braking and losing again a position. Heskey passed him after Always Rick already passed Minte. Looks like Minte has some troubles. And Stevie TV is in the pit. Stevie TV is in the pit. Let's see if It's a Boy Life can pass him after the pit stop. That's gonna be interesting. First the penalty for Stevie TV, 5 seconds. Mechanics have to wait before changing the tires. Fresh mediums for him and he's out. Let's go with It's a Boy Life. Looks like Stevie TV will stay in front of It's a Boy Life. That's gonna be close. It's a Boy Life passing him. And yes, It's a Boy Life on P2. Stevie TV was still in the pit, so It's a Boy Life, after both have pitted, is on P2. And it's gonna be interesting now if Righty Boy can stay out with the Hearts. Hearts are already 12 laps old. And he has a gap of 23 seconds. So that's a really big gap between the two. Capri crawled with a 3-second penalty. And we have a fight going on in mid of the field. Rastarevo is close to Jordan. Oh, and they touch each other. Throws Rastarevo into the pit, gets a 5-second penalty. That was not clean racing of the both. And Rastarevo into the pit with a front wing damage. Both into the pit, 3 people in the pit. Ronanasaurus also with a penalty. We have penalties going through the field, and we have maybe a fight soon between Aldinho and Always Rick for P5. We have this 3-car train between Always Rick, Aldinho and Heskey for P5. That's gonna be interesting. All want some points for their team. And let's see, let's go through the field, what is going on. We have Righty Boy P1, It's a Boy Life P2 with 20-second gap already, closing the gap to Righty Boy. He's faster on the mediums. Stevie TV on P3. These are the top 3 of this race, and we have some fights going on in the background. But we're gonna focus on Aldinho, who's really close to Always Rick. Let's see if we can attack him in the next DRS zone. Racing Point versus Red Bull. DRS open, Always Rick taking the inside line to defend his position. Wheel-to-wheel action between the two. Aldinho, who has to be careful to not get hit by Always Rick. Always Rick defending his position, and it looks like Always Rick can stay in P5 at the moment, but Aldinho will fight. Racing Power, and they touched each other. Aldinho touched Always Rick, lost the car, and also Always Rick, and we have a crash. Heskey crashed him into Always Rick. Heskey out of the race, and this gonna cause a safety car, I guess, because Heskey's in middle of the race. Virtual safety car. That was a crash of all 3, starting from Aldinho crashing into Always Rick, and Heskey was really unlucky, hitting Always Rick, and is now out of the race. And Ronanasaurus also out of the race. 2 guys out of the race, and we have a virtual safety car on lap 23. That was bad for him. Bad moment of the race. A lot of action going on. Righty Boy slowing down. DRS enabled. DRS enabled after we have green flags. That was a bad crash of Heskey, and I guess some wing damage for Always Rick and Aldinho, so maybe one of these guys has to pit. Let's go back and see some action. DG3 really close to Jordan. We have yellow flags again. Yellow flag. And we have wheel to wheel, and we have DG3 taking the inside line, passing Jordan, clean overtake from him. DG3 back on P9 in the Alpha. No chance for Jordan to defend his position. Kavak P8. And we see Always Rick into the pit after the crash before. Aldinho looks like has no wing damage, so Aldinho now on P5 in the racing point. And in front we have still the same situation. We have Righty Boy on P1, 17-second gap between him and It's a Boy Live on P2, fresh mediums for him. Stevie Taivi also on fresh mediums with 8 seconds on P3. Baker P4 in the first Red Bull, Aldinho with a 35-second gap to Baker on P5. Kavak P6, DG3 P7. Jordan in the Ferrari P8, Always Rick in the Red Bull P9, and we have some fights going on. Rastarevo really close, and in between is Righty Boy. Righty Boy overtaking, and we have an attack of Rastarevo passing Always Rick. DRS for Rastarevo. Rastarevo now on P9, and Always Rick losing a position. Always Rick now on P10. Both have been overtaken by Righty Boy. And we go back to the field, back to the front, Righty Boy. And It's a Boy Live pushing to the limit to close the gap to Righty Boy. We have 7 laps left, that's gonna be close. And we're gonna have a really nice ending of the race. But It's a Boy Live has some penalties, so if Righty Boy doesn't make a mistake and don't get some penalties, he is able to win this 3rd race of the season again, after already has won 2 races. We see DG3 with some penalty, multiple warnings. Always Rick closing the gap to Rastarevo. Let's see if we can attack him. In front of them is Righty Boy. And It's a Boy Live is coming closer to Righty Boy. His gap is already on 14 seconds, so It's a Boy Live looks like he's faster than Righty Boy on mediums. Righty Boy with the used hearts, and we see Rastarevo overtaking again Righty Boy. I guess Rastarevo has some blue flags, but he's faster, and that brings Always Rick really close to them. Let's stay on these guys fighting for P9, Rastarevo and Always Rick. Always Rick close to Rastarevo, DRS zone in a few after the next turn, so he has DRS, he should be faster than Rastarevo. Yes, open for him, but Rastarevo has the DRS of Righty Boy, so they are equal. Doesn't look like Always Rick is fast enough to attack Rastarevo. Little mistake from Righty Boy, he has to be careful to not throw away his P1. Really confusing for him because Rastarevo is pushing and overtaking him again. And Stevie, and looks like It's a Boy Live is closing the gap more and more, and we have a crash. Colmy hit the wall under the bridge. And I guess he damaged his wing again, so Colmy has to pit. He's on P12 at the moment in the Haas. And Righty Boy losing some time in the sandwich between Always Rick and Rastarevo. And It's a Boy Live is closing the gap. He's now actually on 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Call Me retired from the session. I guess he got into the pit and retired from the session. Call Me out of the race. We have 12 drivers left in this race of Singapore. And this is gonna be the final. We're gonna see It's a Boy Live trying to gain some time to attack Righty Boy at the end of the race, but he has only 5 laps left. So everything looks like Righty Boy will win this race, but the race is not over. Everything can happen. Yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, we have Minte crashing and has spun. He broke his wing, losing the traction of the car. Minte on P11, and we have an attack off Always Rick. Always Rick is fighting with he's fighting with Rastarevo and Jordan. 3 guys fighting for P8, all really close together. Oh, and we have a crash. Jordan lost the car and crashed into the wall. P10 now for Jordan, has to pit again for a broken wing. And we have this fight going on for Rastarevo and Always Rick for P8. And we have a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car on lap 27, 4 laps left. Virtual safety car for the crash of Jordan in sector 3. So everyone has to slow down. We have this fight going on between Always Rick and Rastarevo for P8. Minte into the pit. Jordan into the pit. Fresh wings for them. We have 12 racers left in this tonight's race. And we have green flag back again on the field. And we have Rastarevo passing Always Rick. This guy are fighting. Oh, late braking of Always Rick, almost hitting, or he hit Rastarevo. There was some contact between the two. Always Rick on P9 fighting for P8 with Rastarevo. Renault versus Red Bull. And we have Baker into the pit with fresh softs. Baker out with fresh softs, and It's a Boy Live closing the gap more and more. Ooh, hitting the wall, no damage for him. Was lucky to not damage his wing. And he has a gap of 10 seconds, 0.7. So he's getting closer, but I think not close enough, not fast enough to close the gap to Righty Boy. Righty Boy on hards, on used hards, but he has just 4 laps left to win this race. Yellow flag in sector 2, a racing point. Oh, I guess Minte crashed again. I can't see a damage of his wing. And we see Always Rick lost some time versus Rastarevo. Rastarevo with a gap of 2 seconds, 0.3. But we're gonna focus on It's a Boy Live on P2. If he can close the gap in the last 3 laps, but I think that's gonna be difficult. So if everything works for Righty Boy, he's gonna have a last to first race and win this race after an amazing performance. But the race is not finished yet, so everything can happen. But he is the winner of the last 2 races, and I guess he's really careful to not throw away his podium and his win of the race. We see a lot of big gaps between the racers. As expected, we had a lot of people out of the race. Righty Boy, clean racing from him. The gap is getting closer and closer. It's a Boy Live with 9.4 seconds, so he's faster at the moment than Righty Boy. But he has only 3 laps left to get his P1 back, and that's gonna be hard for him. pushing to the limit. Stevie Taibi in Mercedes, second Mercedes on P3, so Mercedes is gonna have a lot of points tonight if nothing happens. But the race is not finished yet, everything can happen. Baker, fresh softs for him on P4 with a gap of 43 seconds. Aldinho Racing Point P5. Kavak P6. The last Alpha on the field, DG3 with a P7. Rastarevo, always Rick again in the pit with fresh softs. Jordan P11 and Minte, the last one on the field with the Racing Point on P12. It's a Boy Life under 9 seconds gap. He's faster than Righty Boy, but that's gonna be hard for him to attack Righty Boy at the end of the race. The gap is too big between the two. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. We have Stevie Tavy with 6 seconds penalty. Baker, fastest lap of the race, 1:37 with fresh softs. And Jordan, 3-second penalty for him. It's a Boy Life closing the gap, now going down to 8 seconds. And he will be the big winner of this race. Righty Boy 0-1 in the Mercedes. Started last and now on P1 after an amazing performance tonight. After an amazing performance in this season, this would be his 3rd win of the season. 3 races win for him. And It's a Boy Life is under 8 seconds gap now, 7.8. Stevie Taibi also closing a little bit the gap. 3-second penalty for Always Rick in the Red Bull. No fights going on right now. Everyone has a big gap between. Rastarevo close to the Mercedes of Righty Boy. Caprice Kral in the Williams on P9 getting some points, and Always Rick also bringing home some points for the Red Bull team on P10 actually. Jordan in the second Ferrari out of points on P11 and Minte on P12. So the gap is 7 seconds. Righty Boy arriving at his last lap after an amazing performance tonight in the Mercedes. He has really used hards and has to be careful. As you can see, he has some troubles with the traction on the field, but the gap is still 6 seconds and It's a Boy Life has 3-second penalty. So Righty Boy arriving at the last lap of this Singapore Grand Prix. Righty Boy, who started last, actually on P1 after an amazing performance tonight, bringing home the 3rd win of the season for him. DRS open, the gap is getting closer, smaller, 5.8 between him and It's a Boy Life. It's a Boy Life also with an amazing performance tonight in the Ferrari. Stevie Taibi P3 in the Mercedes. Mercedes get a lot of points tonight, and these points are important for the Constructor Championship. Let's stay with Righty Boy, the big winner of tonight. I can show you the positions. Position change, as I said before. Ooh, he almost threw away his car, he has to be careful. As you can see, Righty Boy gaining 17 positions tonight, started last, finishing 1st. What a performance of him. Looks like he's unstoppable at the moment. Third win of the season, third race of the season, third win of the season. And Righty Boy arriving at the last few corners of the Singapore Grand Prix. Righty Boy, last turn. Righty Boy, the big winner. Fireworks for him. What an amazing performance. Righty Boy starting last, finishing first. It's a Boy Life on P2 after an amazing race. Congrats to him. Stevie Taibi arriving at the last corner in the Mercedes, second Mercedes on P3 after an amazing race. Congrats to the guys. Righty Boy P1, It's a Boy Life P2, Stevie P3. Baker, after struggling, had also an amazing race. He had some problems in the beginning of the race. He was on P2 and now fighted back to P4, bringing home the points for the Red Bull. Important points for the Constructor Championship. Baker on P4 after an amazing race in Singapore. Fireworks going on. Marina Bay Street Circuit. Baker P4. Aldinho in the Racing Point, arriving in the last few turns on P5. Has some penalties. We have gonna have an eye on penalties. 3-second penalties for Aldinho, but he will stay on P5. Aldinho P5, Kabak P6. Alright, Kavak P6, DG3 P7, and Rastarevo taking the outside line, finishing on P7 or P8. Rastarevo in the Renault on P8. And this is it. Singapore is history. Of course, driver of today, Righty Boy, starting last, finishing first. What an amazing race of him. Third win for him tonight. This is it, Righty Boy, big winner of tonight's race. Deserves win for him after an amazing performance. Champagne shower. This is the podium. Righty Boy from England winning the Grand Prix of Singapore tonight after a really chaotic race with a lot of crashes. I think that will cause some discussions. And this is the final board after tonight's race. Righty Boy P1, It's a Boy Life in the Ferrari P2, Stevie TV P3 in the second Mercedes, Baker in P4 in the Red Bull, Aldinho P5, Kavak P6, DG3 P7, Rastarevo P8, Always Rick in the Red Bull P9, and Capri Skral from Denmark in P10. This the top 10s of tonight's race, Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. So, thank you all for watching. Had an amazing race tonight in Singapore. European Racing Organization Tier 5. Race 3 is over. See you next week. Have a good night, have a good weekend. My name is Rokkstar and this was the race of Singapore. Good night, bye bye.